Howdy. Let's do I Saw the Light, key of A. A little more advanced version this time than what we did last time. And metronome set at 100 to keep me honest. Here we go. Alright, let's stop our metronome. Cool. So I Saw the Light. We talked about the basic melody last time. And so this time around, we're going to bring it in with some pickup licks from A, C sharp, D, and E. So it's 1, 2, 3. Like that. And then 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then we get into the melody. So for me, maybe habit, I don't know, but playing drone strings against the melody notes sounds fuller to me, and so I'm playing the E against an A, and then an F sharp. Double up that A with your fourth finger, and then to catch that C sharp, your options are to come over here to and play just a C sharp. You can play it against the E to give a little higher harmony, or you can play it against this A note here to do a third. So and that's that same configuration like you used in Sally Gooden or something like that, you know. Something like that. So, the next part, I saw the light. Okay, so you can just repeat that same line, but it's nice to also lead into the 4 chord here, or the D chord out of A, and to do that, you play a flatted 7th, and you know it's going somewhere, right? When you hear that, you know, it's suddenly everything's unstable, and you got to find some place to go, and that place you're going to go to is a D chord. So you'll go. So we did a couple different things there, but the way we'll do right now, and then we'll talk about some variations later, will be just this. So that's just the F sharp against the A. Give a little another F sharp there, just give a little rhythm to it. Something like that. And then the C sharp against the G sharp. Slide down. Okay? And then you start back over. to give some variation, you can add in a C sharp against the E. Kind of split that note up, so like, so that's a C sharp and E. And so instead of just going where you're just playing the E, come over here and that first E against the A, replace it with a C sharp. You're still playing the E, you still got your melody notes, just kind of changing the harmony around it. You can do. Okay, so we've added in our C sharp in our, to our lick, and so now we're at the end of the melody, and so we'll go. And then from there, jump up with a fourth. So that's all. That's like a for the out of the G thing. That's like when you were doing Foggy Mountain Breakdown or those things where you land on that fourth and you're just like, right. So here we're doing the same thing. It's just we're really milking it. But it's just with our fourth being out of the key of A, or this A double stop here. So, make it shout. So, okay, and then the melody ending would be. A B against a D. I saw the light. So you can catch a sixth if you want. A D against a B. Slide up to an E against a C sharp. And slide it back with a fifth. You can go back to your sixth with D against the B if you want, or come over here and slide it back to growl a little bit with your B against the F sharp for that fifth. Okay. Now let's talk about some variations we can throw in here. So, so instead of just going with adding in a C sharp, you can actually hurry up those notes and make it a bit more fiddly from time to time by just so it's just an A, B, C sharp. Okay. And then the rest of the lick's the same. Okay, and then the other thing that's fun is this little bit of a syncopation. So it's like, so like that. So it's and that's just a fun little syncopation thing, I think. And so it's just an A, C sharp against the E, E against the A, F sharp against the A, and then A, doubled up on the A and the A. So same fingerings pretty much. It's just that little timing thing. And then coming out of that, that's pretty emphatic. So what we do, maybe go into something a little less syncopated there, maybe a little fiddly thing. And so what you can do, and so you'll hear this a lot whenever you're doing whenever you get into that 4 chord, just in whatever key you're in this case it's going to be, we're out of A, so the 4 chord's a D. I'm going to have a video on that if that's confusing to you. But we're going to, over in the theory section. But what you can do is do this, is a little roll, basically. So it's just F sharp, A, and what you're doing is you're using the flattened 7 of the D chord, the one that you're in, and so that flattened 7 note is a C. And so this is the same principle of like Old Joe Clark. If I played Old Joe Clark out of D, it would sound like this. Right? And we play it out of A. But it's the same idea. Using that flattened 7 to give it a little bluesier tone. So you can do that here and just go. So that's a F sharp, A, B, C, D, A. And that is just another, the C natural again. C, B, A, B, A. And then that's a E, F sharp, E. So that whole thing off that would sound like this, like. And then you can do the same thing again, and or maybe like. Okay. And then jump over to that E note, praise the Lord. And so there is a part where you would be, you wouldn't be penalized for going very fiddly there, and just kind of saying heck with the melody if you wanted. And so, because that's just, if you listen to classic records, that's just part of the experience, is kind of playing it tight, at least tighter, up until the very end when things just let go and you're just like, or something just ridiculous. So for here, you could do practically anything, but let's see what we can do. So we go like how about that? So that's a very fiddly, fiddle tune ending kind of lick. That's a different thing. Let's see what I do. So that would be like a the 4th again, E versus A. That's what it was. So give that little emphatic like practice, just to let people know that that the melody's here before you go fiddly maybe. And so you go practice. And then, and that's just a run down from A, G sharp, F sharp, E. And then come up and catch the G sharp, F sharp, E. So, then D, C sharp, B. Over to G sharp, to B, to A, open A. You could also go and catch that C sharp against the G sharp if you want, and drag it back. So let's see that. How about that? So this will be the last one. So there's pretty classic licks like Benny Martin and so many of Scotty Stoneman and probably a lot that I'm not naming. Let's just suffice it to say, etc., etc. So many great players that came up with some classic bluesy licks, and this is a great one. It's just a slide in, and Bobby Hicks did this all the time. Let's see. So it's just you start about a half tone down from where you want to end up, and then your bow's playing an important role here too, because it's going to give some rhythmic groove to this, and so it's bow, bow, down, up, down, up, and then you slur the lifting your fingers. Let me show you. Sorry. So here you go. Down, up, keep going up to catch that open string to give it a little bit of that rhythmic bounce. Down, up. Okay? And then you just slide back on a down bow back into that same note. You don't have to use that same chord, but in this one, we're using the G against the E here. We're using that flatted seventh of A and playing it against the fifth note in the A scale. Okay? And so it sounds like this. And so that's kind of milking that fourth two there, like give it a little bit of the double stop E. Yeah, I like that. So it'd be like and so that if you want to do this exact lick, that's just sliding up twice after you do your rhythmic double stoppy thing. Okay. Then one more, and then a quick one just to. Okay, and this is classic 5. Note 5 to note 3 slide. So up on the 5 and back down a little, and up on the 3. C sharp. But that's all combined with this G note as well. So it's okay, and that's a C sharp against the G sharp to growl the fifth. And then you could do something fiddly to end it. So it's about so that's pretty classic too. Classic kind of lick where you use using that flatted seventh, just exactly like you would in old Joe Clark. E, F sharp, G, natural, F sharp, E, F sharp, E, and then hit a B, and then combine that with a flattened third. Okay, and growl with your fifths. So it's going to be a C natural across from a G natural. And that will come back B against the F sharp. Keep your fifths going to land back home on A and E open. Yeah, to land back home. So it's C, G natural, B, F sharp, A, E that takes you home. So one more time of that. I think in that example right there, I did another little variation where you can actually just go all the way down the scale instead of going. You can also just go start on the D here and do the fifths all the way down. D over an A, or against an A, C against G, both natural, B natural versus F sharp, A, like that. Alrighty, guys. That's some fun things when I saw the light. And hope that helps. We'll see you around.